What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video and welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and news report for Friday, April 9th. We have some good news today, and we've actually had some good news most of this week as well. We've been getting a lot of reports saying that many people are actually getting their $1,400 stimulus checks. That is really good news. We also got more good news from the IRS yesterday as well. The IRS stated that they are issuing millions more stimulus checks. These will come as direct deposits to bank accounts and to direct express cards, as well as paper checks and prepaid debit cards. They will be sending those out this week, which the end of the week is technically today. So chances are those stimulus checks will be going out. This means if you have yet to receive your $1,400 stimulus check, what you need to do is you need to go to the IRS Get My Payment portal and check there. Chances are tomorrow morning it should be updated and it will show new information. Hopefully you will see that it says April 14th as your payment date. That would be very good because I know many people are still waiting on this money. The bad thing, and here's a major announcement from the IRS just this morning, is what we are hearing right now is that the IRS has decided to not move forward with reopening one of their tools, and this is their non-filer tool. This essentially allowed many people, millions of Americans, to actually go and get or put in their information for their stimulus checks when it went out for the CARES Act, that $1,200 stimulus check. This allowed people that were normally not filing taxes, this allowed them to go in, update their information, put in their banking information, their correct address, things like that, so the IRS knew where to send the checks. Well, right now what we're hearing is that according to a few reports, and this is actually from CNN and Bloomberg, the IRS does not plan to renew this portal again. This means if you are a lower income individual, simply put, the only way to get your stimulus check is to go and file taxes. Now, the problem with this, and this is where a lot of people don't want to do it and have an issue, is because why would they go and file taxes and pay money for this and risk possibly having to pay money or pay back taxes and then only risk getting the $1,800 or the $3,200 if it's all three checks? Well, what we know right now is the IRS is saying that most people would not have to pay any money. They would not have to pay anything. That the IRS is trying to give all these people, there's millions of people that have yet to receive their $1,400, that have yet to receive their $600, and may never receive their $1,200 stimulus checks. So because of this, the IRS spokesperson said the IRS would like all parties to file a tax return so they can get all of their tax credits in addition to the stimulus check. So this would be things like the earned income credits and other things, child tax credits and things like that. So the IRS is really pushing for that, but I understand a lot of people just don't want to file taxes. And I personally, I do not like filing taxes. I absolutely dread it every single year. I think everybody does, but it is currently the world we live in. We have to file taxes. So where does that lead us? Okay, and what issues do we see next? Here's what we know. Okay. And this is the kind of the problem at this point. Right now, a lot of people that have yet to receive their stimulus check, they don't know where to go. They don't know how to file taxes. They don't know where to go, how to find a tax preparer. They haven't been educated on any of this stuff. And here on this channel, that's one of the things I try to do, not only enlighten you guys on, different ways to make money and business and things like that, but also update you on what's currently happening and how you can, get ahead. Whether it's through, how you get your stimulus check, how you get rental assistance, how you get nutrition assistance, how you get money for your business, and through the PPP funding and all that stuff. But right now, here's the issue. The Biden administration previously said, initially, their plan was that they were going to educate the American people, educate the public on what is actually included in this $1.9 trillion stimulus package that was passed almost a month ago. In 2 days, it will be 1 month. So right now, that's an issue. The Biden administration initially said they wanted to help educate the American people, but outside of that quick little stimulus bill celebration tour that they did, there was absolutely no educating. Nothing happened. And so a lot of people still do not know where do they go to get certain pieces of information. Well, people still don't know where to go and get their stimulus checks, how to get them. Do they have to file taxes? Is there another way around that? Honestly, right now, no. You have to file taxes. Many people don't know where to get nutrition assistance. That was a big issue. There's pandemic EBT. There's SNAP benefits. For the SNAP benefits, you get a 15% increase, I think, until the end of until September. So it's pretty good right now. A lot of people still have no idea that they qualify for free health insurance. This is a big thing, and there was a few reports on this the other day, and I'll address that in a minute. And then a lot of people still don't realize that there's rental assistance available to them. The money has not dried up, and chances are the money will remain with these states because they actually can't spend it. They're struggling to give the money out. But yesterday, a few mainstream media outlets actually ran a few stories talking about how 7 million Americans actually qualify for free health insurance at this time. But most people don't realize that. And this is due to the expansion of the eligibility of the Affordable Care Act. This is pretty much Obamacare and the premium subsidies. So a lot of people don't realize this, but depending on where you stand, your income, you could qualify for free health insurance. Also, it says that around 7 million Americans do qualify for free health insurance, but 1.3 million people could actually pay less than $50 per month for health insurance because of these premium subsidies. But again, if you were never told that, if you were never educated on that, if the Biden administration never came out and said something, how would you ever know? You wouldn't. But because of the lack of education from the government, most people don't realize this is available. But there's more. Then let's get into rental assistance, because this is a big issue, and this is actually where there are a lot of lawmakers pushing for some changes that we could potentially see in the next bill. So what we know right now, and again, this is a big problem, this is a big mistake, is right now lawmakers are struggling with the idea of why did we let states decide who gets rental assistance? This should have been on a federal level. This should have been, from the federal standpoint, we should have just had everything the same right across the board, and it would have been much easier, much simpler, and actually giving the money away would have been faster, been more efficient. But right now, many people don't realize the money's still there. The problem right now with rental assistance at this point is that states are making up the rules. States decide how much they decide to give to a renter or their landlord. And lawmakers wanted to provide over $50 billion. They wanted more, but they settled on $50 billion to renters to pay back rent for some of their past due bills, past due rents. But states are now requiring landlords to pretty much accept a smaller amount and then eat the rest. So essentially, what this means is states, there's some counties actually in Washington State, in Florida, I think in California as well, where they're saying, okay, we're going to pay the landlord 60%. And then the other 40%, the landlord just has to pretty much waive it and be like, okay, you're good to go. That tenant does not have to pay any additional money. So being that they have to eat 20, sometimes 40%, I think the highest right now is 40% of their lost fees, wages, rents, whatever you want to call it. And because this, many landlords are actually declining these benefits, don't want to do it, which then puts the burden back on the renter. And now, while states are hoarding billions of dollars, the American people are struggling. Renters are having a tough time paying back rent. And it's going to create a whole nother housing crisis. When everything is done, let's say September 6th, when everything is just done, there's no unemployment insurance boost. There's a lot of people will be off unemployment benefits completely. People on PUA, okay, the self-employed, they're going to struggle. They will struggle if their business hasn't bounced back yet. We also know if the eviction moratorium expires, and all these people that owe back rents get evicted because the landlords have not accepted the state's idea of, okay, well, you give me 60%, I'm going to waive the other 40%, and landlords like, no, we're not going to do that. then that's just going to create a whole nother issue, and it's going to have a ripple effect throughout the entire economy. So, and this is one of the biggest things that is currently being talked about right now is lawmakers want to see a change here. They want to see changes. They want to see proper rental assistance. We know progressives want to see $2,000 stimulus checks per month. We know we have a lot of Democrats that want to see an expansion of the child tax credits, which again, we're still waiting on the IRS to even give us more information on what's to come there. We know there's an extension of unemployment insurance benefits. That's going to be on the horizon. And if it's not, and if this can't pass, and again, there's some big news on this as well as to what we could potentially see in this next bill. I'm going to break that down in just a second. But right now, there's a lot of issues. And then certain pieces of legislation that kind of revolve around infrastructure, these are the things that are being seen as the most crucial at this time. Not the entire infrastructure bill, because some of this infrastructure wouldn't even start for years. So because of that, some are saying, let's break it down into different pieces. Well, that's kind of where things are at right now, because this was the biggest struggle. The biggest struggle with lawmakers was that the Biden administration is trying to give, and at this point, this is as of this morning, the Biden administration is giving centrist Democrats pretty much the room to go and work with Republicans. Work with Democrats as well, but work with Republicans to try to reach some type of bipartisan deal. Try to get at least 10 Republicans on board with the bill that they want to propose. Well, here's what we know. Right now, they're trying to break up the $2.25 trillion infrastructure bill even more. Remember, this is $2.25 trillion was the first infrastructure bill. Okay, this was more real infrastructure, roads, bridges, things like that. And the other thing was more like, personal things like that. So that's kind of the issue. Is there's two different infrastructure bills. The first one, the $2.25 trillion bill, we already have the framework for there, but we don't have the other one. We don't exactly know what's going to be in it. Okay, here's what we know. Instead of taking just two bills, now they decide, okay, we're going to take those two bills, we're going to split them up. But then we're going to take this one bill, this $2.25 trillion infrastructure bill, we're going to split that up even more. And we're also going to push back all tax hikes. We're not even going to discuss tax hikes at this point because Republicans don't support it. So what they're trying to work on now, according to a few reports, is that centrist Democrats and Republicans are trying to come up with a way to pay for this infrastructure bill. How do they do that? At this point, we don't know. But they're going to come up with ideas, and the goal would be to include pieces that focus on the supply chains and the competition with China in this bill. Okay? So according to a few reports, the Senate will come back on Monday, and as of next week, they will start working on all these provisions, all these different ideas, come up with different proposals. That's supposed to happen next week. So as of right now, next week will be a big week. We should have a lot more updates. We'll have a lot more information and a lot more answers as to where we are moving forward. What I can tell you right now is that there's a lot of questions. And the only thing we can do right now is just wait, because right now they're trying to come up with different ideas. They're just pretty much tossing around ideas, hoping that something sticks, hoping that, okay, Democrats are going to give Republicans this idea, like, all right, what do you think of this? And Republicans will either be like, yeah, that's terrible, we're not going to do that, or, all right, let's move forward, give us more information. And again, that's what's taking so long. And some experts say this bill, this $2.25 trillion infrastructure bill, chances are, if it passes, this is going to be like in the summer. This is going to be in the summer. Okay? So we will see what happens. But as always, as I learn more, I promise I'll come back and fill you in on all the updates and all the new information. All you got to do, if you can, hit that thumbs up button. It just helps out the video. Also, consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one.